everyone, welcome back to Heartbeat Narratives. I'm your host Molly, and I'm so happy to welcome my friend Valentina to the podcast today. Thank you for coming on, Valentina.
Thank you for having me.
And we go way back to like 2013, 2014, University of Hawaiʻi. And where are you from?
Oh!
Your background. Let's get into that.
My name is Valentina. So I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, at Tripler. My dad was in the military. He was in the Marine Corps, and we were stationed out there. But my dad is also from Hawaii. He grew up in Pearl City. We moved to San Diego because we got stationed out here because he was a drill instructor. And I was born in Hawaii, but raised in San Diego. And then I went back to Hawaii and got my undergraduate degree at the University of Hawaiʻi at Mānoa. And that's where I met you.
Since I'm visiting San Diego, I was curious to sit down with you and hear, what makes your heart beat? What makes you tick? What do you find joy in?
Yeah, I would say the biggest joy that I have is the work that I do. So I am a social worker, and I've had experience the last 10 years working with the unsheltered population. And I think that's been like the biggest passion that I've had. I mean, it's been a career of mine as I pursued higher education to be a social worker. And then I've just had experience working in Hawaii and then also in San Diego. I think that's like the biggest thing that makes my heart beat. Just to work with someone and their goals, especially navigating challenging times, trying to get someone housed.
I feel like you have a natural knack for this too, because people really seem to trust you.
Yeah, they do. I think when you build rapport with someone, especially with people who are not trusting of services, you just have to really talk and listen, and then just, work on goals that they want to work on. You can't really force anyone, but then you also have to really navigate a complex system. I've worked with people in like the shelters. In Hawaii, I used to work at a shelter. That's where I started. I actually was a volunteer when I was pursuing my undergraduate degree in ethnic studies and American studies. So I got exposed because I chose my capstone project at the shelter, and then the director really liked me and he was like, I would love for you to apply. And then I applied and I got a job, and that's where it all started. And then working in Hawaii on a topic of homelessness, it's different because you're also dealing with Western ideologies of a home.
I feel like people who are in Hawaii, regardless of your housing situation, Hawaii is home. And maybe you just don't have a house.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's what's like the beauty of it. I would say even though it's challenging, like people know that like the land produces home. And so I miss Hawaii. But it's also nice like working with this population here in San Diego because it is a big issue. It's just a problem that we haven't been able to solve throughout history. I just know like the difference that I make, like the small impact with like my clients is like what I focus on, because it can be really challenging. Burning out as a social worker is very real. Taking it day by day and having really good solid relationships with like coworkers is really what gets me through.
So something about that capstone project just resonated really deeply with you.
Yeah, it did, because like I didn't know it was going to be like the best capstone. I ended up staying there. In total, I was at that shelter for 2 years. First as a volunteer, and then I got hired on, and then I loved it. And then it helped me to pursue work here in San Diego, because I was like, you know what? I need to get my master's in social work. I need to like figure out what I want to do next, because I have like a really good understanding, but I need more education to really help out this population. And that's what helped me figure out like I need to go to school again. I got my master's during the pandemic. So I went to a school here in San Diego, and that was really great because I was exposed to like 2 different types of internships. I was at a rehab for 1 year, and then the second year I was at an intensive outpatient program for severe mental illness, and that really helped because working with unsheltered people, you get to work with people who have comorbidities, so either mental health, physical health, or a substance use disorder. Mm-hmm. But then also you're working with people where we're dealing with a poverty issue as well. A lot of people are working poor. You know, they're working 2 jobs here in San Diego and they live in their car. I think the great thing about my job too is that you're working with people on many different levels of life. A lot of people have a story to tell, which is great because everyone is an individual. It's not one size fits all, and I think that's why it's such a complex issue to solve.
I just want to give you credit because you as a person yourself, you have this natural tendency to make people feel really safe and welcome. Mm-hmm. And I've never felt judged by you. Oh. And I think that probably carries through in all of your interactions with people. You make people feel safe and cared for. And I remember when you said you wanted to pursue your master's a while back, I was like, do whatever you can, Valentina, to like increase your impact because you have this heart for helping people and making their lives better.
Yeah.
So you're doing it.
I know I am. It's great. I love it so much. You know, it's funny that you say that because, like, you know, at Newman, like Cor Loquitur, the heart speaks to heart. I actually have a tattoo of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I actually carry that with work. Because I feel like the moments that I have with clients, it's like magic. I don't know how to explain it other than like, because you're actually speaking to someone's soul. Because people are down, you know, they just want to be heard and they want to like express what they're feeling. And you have people that don't listen. And I think that's like my biggest thing when I'm working with my clients is like to really learn about their story, to walk alongside them. Because I always ask my clients, this is like the biggest question I ask them, tell me how you think we can solve this. And I think that question is big because I don't think they realize we can actually solve it. We just have to like look every and anywhere. It also puts it on them, like they have choice. Because I think sometimes our systems don't allow that free will. Like, we're going to tell you what you're going to do. Our programs are going to tell you how to fit in a box. You have to be eligible for XYZ. And that's the thing. It's so complex. Like, people can't fit in a box. Not everyone. Eligibility is always what I'm fighting. And that's why you got to really know, like, the people that you're working with. And you have to find a solid team of other social workers, case managers who have the same vision, that are as dedicated as you. I think if I didn't find those people, I don't know if I would have stuck with this. Because that's how we're going to solve this. Like one person, one family, one couple, one single person. It's one person at a time. And it seems really slow. It is. But it's nice to also check up with people who have been housed and to really ensure that we keep people housed. I just love to envision people sleeping in their own bed. Yeah, I think that's why I love my job.
Yeah. Valentina!
Yeah.
When you look back on your career, I don't even know if this kind of question is even relevant or valid, but like, how many people do you feel like you've helped?
That is a really good question. I don't know anymore. I feel like at the beginning when I first started, I'm super analytical in that way. I probably could have given a number, but at this point I think hundreds. Because I've worked in different types of programs. I would maybe say like 1,000 people now over the last 10 years, I would assume.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's so interesting that you say that, because like my mom is also in this field as well. She works with domestic violence. That's her population, and she's worked with that population over the last 20 years. And I bring that up because I feel like it was like kind of a family thing. Like I've seen my mom do it for so long. I've run into people that my mom has helped as well.
No way.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I could even say any story, but like
a success story or something.
Yeah, because I mean, I've had successes like in Hawaii. I can still think of like the first person that I housed in Hawaii. He had been living at the shelter for like 2 years. I got him a place, and this was like when he was like my first person. And it ended up being like a mom and pop. In San Diego, we call them like independent living, where it's pretty much just like someone renting out like a room.
I appreciate this so much, Valentina.
Yeah.
And I'm remembering back in, it would have been maybe 2017, prior to you moving to California, a big group of students and volunteers, we came out to your shelter, and you coordinated this whole volunteer event with us to support the people at the shelter. And I remember walking in and seeing you, and it seemed like you were in your element. Everybody knew you, everybody wanted a piece of you, because like they knew that you had it under control.
Yeah.
You had the knowledge, the expertise. And then our little volunteer group was like, Valentina, what do we do? How do we, who do we spend time with? And the kids, they were just excited to see so many new people. I felt like it was incredible to see how many people you were helping on a daily level, because the general population of a city, people who are housed, don't see the houseless community maybe collectively in a shelter. And I mean, it broke my heart, but it also made me so appreciative of you and your coworkers for being there and being the frontline workers to support them, because you're literally helping people find clothes, find jobs, maybe move to a different part of the shelter because maybe they're not getting along with the folks in the little corner next to them. Like, you are handling people's lives.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
Now that I'm thinking about it, and this is me like being a newly graduate and really not thinking about the job that I was doing, but I think I was so comfortable because I had volunteered for like 8 months and I had already known the people. I want these people to be my neighbors. Like this is how good of a person, because they're not only was our shelter taking in families, single men, single women, and couples, I was also working with people who experience like multi-generational homelessness. Sometimes I was working with a family that had minor kids, and then the grandparents were there as well. The aunts and uncles were there. So I was working with family systems. And we were super understaffed. We had about 300 people, and there were only 2 staff per shift. This is like the confidence of having in the people. Not only was I a staff person and I held power, but also to really think about those power dynamics, but to also understand that I respect everyone here, and that's how we're gonna get things done. And I think when you are able to like speak with people and like understand and listen, that's how safety is here. Because now that I think about it, I'm like, why did I think like, was this a safe place? And I'm like, yeah, it was a safe place. You just got to talk to people. You got to listen. That's why I was so happy with the volunteers, because what was great about this shelter was we had different churches. Sometimes we would have like hospitals, anyone to come serve the dinner. And that's probably why I'm like, you guys are here. This is great. Yeah. But
you can delegate.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we need the support. We'll take anything. Thank you.
Do you have any career highlights that you can reflect on?
I won't be able to say like the name of where I work now or the program that I was most proud of, but I will say this last program that I was in, that was probably a really career highlight because we got to work with so many high acuity disabled population, and I think that's a population that needs a lot of help. I love helping someone when everything is under one house. So like the program that I was in offered services for Social Security Administration benefit assistance, and then we housed our participants. So I think this last program that I was a part of was probably the biggest highlight. And I loved it because I got to work with so many clients and actually see them get into housing. That's like my favorite. When you can actually, there's a key in a door. We need thousands of it.
I can see you light up as you're talking more and more.
Yeah.
If you could fix one thing in society, one thing today with a magic wand to better serve the houseless community, what would that one thing be?
Great question. So many thoughts are coming through my mind right now. At first, in my mind, I wanted to say like rental caps. It is so expensive here in San Diego to live. And then also it was so expensive in Honolulu. For our community, I would like to remove all eligibility requirements. I know that you have to start somewhere, and I know that's why like there's certain populations, like sometimes people want to work with just women and children. I would say because how complex homelessness is, I would love to remove that.
So when it comes to eligibility for programs and funding?
Yeah.
Okay, so removing eligibility criteria that people have to meet in order to be supported.
Yes. Yes. As a social worker, I'm having to navigate definitions, and I had to become really knowledgeable about state and federal regulation and navigate that, because I'm able to like really sit down with like program managers, and I'm very good at receipt keeping, just like understanding the rules. So yeah, I would like to remove that.
I feel like you're an undercover lawyer.
You know, it's so interesting that you say that because my clinical supervisor has told me several times that I should have pursued like a Juris Doctorate, because she's like, you are so good at advocating about this, but that's social work. There's a justice component to it.
So Valentina 2.0 will be a lawyer.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm like, well, if anyone wants to pay off my current student loan debt and then also pay for my JD, give me a call. I'll give Molly my information.
So to balance all of this out, how do you relax after work? How do you have fun? What else makes your heart beat that isn't related to your work?
Okay, that is a great question because I still navigate that right now. I'm still trying to figure that out. My hobbies currently, I'm trying to read books because I think I can become really lax about that. So actually I have a notepad. I'm trying to see if I can read 18 books this year, which is like a big feat for me. So right now I'm on my second book, which is great.
What is it?
I'm reading A Court of Thorns and Roses or whatever. It's like the book series that everyone is talking about right now. Yeah, Aquatar, I don't know. I'm reading that right now. It's good. So that's like the biggest thing. And then also gardening. I try not to kill my plants. That's been the biggest thing. And then also my sister has a bunch of animals, so I like being an aunt to them. So there's 3 bunnies and a cat, so I like being a really good Thea. And then yeah, just honestly hang out with friends and family. That's like the biggest thing. I really try not to think about work. Lately I've been really good to like start on time and end on time. I think that's like the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway, because I was a big overtime girl, And now I'm like, I gotta preserve myself. I'll be doing this for another 30 years. We ain't doing this today. It's a separation. I love what I do, but I also like to be a foodie. Love trying new foods. San Diego has so much good food. Love tacos. Love Indian food. Oh, yeah. So that's another passion, food.
You have a diversity of interests.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when we were in Hawaii in school together. We celebrated Easter together one time, and you were in the ocean swimming for like 6 hours at our picnic, and you were just a little water baby.
I am. I wish I was a water baby here in San Diego, but I do not like our beaches here. The beaches in Hawaii, I miss home. I could literally be in the ocean for 8 hours. And I actually truly don't know how to swim, but I float really well. And then I just make sure like the friends that I go with are actual swimmers. That is why, see, I went with you guys, like our friends. Everyone swam well. That's the reason why I survived. But I actually don't know how to swim.
This is so funny. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim.
Valentina.
That's why do you think like, you know, like all our friends were really good swimmers, like all my roommates, like, and I would go out so far. Like so far. And I just thought I knew.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about what brings you joy?
The connection to other people. You know, whether it be clients, co-workers, but also just like family and friends. I think that's like what we all strive for is connection. And that's what brings me a lot of joy.
Thank you so much, Valentina. I've really enjoyed catching up with you and getting a glimpse into your life 10 years later, now that we're out of school, seeing you thriving and impacting and uplifting people. So, mahalo nui.
Thank you.
Big thank you for coming on Heartbeat Narratives.
Thank you for having me. I miss you and I love you, Molly.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this episode and we'll catch you on the next one. Aloha.